Hey, what is up? I'm super excited to talk about this today because I know how important it is, especially over the holidays, how to show up for your team or even how to show up for your family over the holidays without burning out. You know, this time of year, how many people end December and they're absolutely exhausted? They're exhausted from jumping around from house to house to house. They're exhausted from the whole year and maybe the last few months of work, and they just want to relax. And I get that. But I'm going to help you with a couple of things that you can do to be able to create some balance in your life, actually live a life beyond balance is what I always push for, and how to show up for people on your team, and how to show up maybe even with your family members over Christmas, okay? So the number one rule for me, and I hope this becomes a number one rule for you, I show up for the people who show up, okay? I show up for the people that show up for me. And what's really interesting is a lot of the times people burn out because they try and do too much and they think, I've got to touch every member on my team or I've got to talk to every family member in the room, right? And I'm relating these two things for a reason because it's all about creating boundaries and deciding where you want to spend your time, right? Because your inner circle matters. The people that you spend time with matters. You know, I've gone to big family gatherings where there are 50 to 60 people. I'm going to pick and choose the people that I want to talk to. I'm going to pick and choose the people that I sit down beside because I'm interested in connecting with them. Interesting, right? Okay, so I had a friend of mine show me this once, and I'm going to share it with you. So, Afia, I'm going to give you credit because I felt so burnt out and overwhelmed by trying to service everybody on my team. Okay, by trying to service my new people, by trying to service my leaders, by trying to service and touch base with everybody to make sure that everybody was okay, right? Guess what? You don't have to do that. I'm going to give you permission not to do that, okay? And so what she did is she drew a bullseye. And so I did this really rough, sorry, draft, but I wanted to show you. So what happens is you are in the middle. Your business, you are the most important thing over anybody else, over any team members, any leaders, any of those things. You are the most important thing, you in the middle. Then your family, they come next, okay? And by family, I mean immediate family, your husband, your kids, okay? They come first because if they don't come first, they end up coming last after business. And guess what? That doesn't make them feel very good. They need to be included with you, okay? Outside of that, the next group of people that you pay big attention to is your brand new people on the team. Okay, you want to answer all their questions. You want to help them get set up. Now, here's the kicker, and this is what I'm teaching my mastermind right now to set them up for 2023, is that not only do you need structure, you need to have a system in how you speak to people and how you follow up before they become a customer, before they become a client, or before they become a team member, but you also have to have a system for onboarding them because this is the biggest mistake I see people make. They personally onboard all of their customers and all of their team members. So they spend an hour explaining how to start a business, how to get going, what to do, all that kind of stuff, right? You don't have to do that. You can literally set up systems that you plug people into so that you don't have to have the same conversation over and over and over again. The name of the game is duplication, right? And you're constantly improving your systems, but you're not constantly giving all of your time to every human. Why? Because people are always leaving. Okay. I remember when I first got into the online marketing space and I was running quite a big team. I had 2,500 or 3,000 people on my team. And I just said, I can't, like, I don't understand why all these people quit. And I was so frustrated because at the time I'd made a fatal error. And I asked people to raise their hand if they wanted a 30-minute one-on-one with me. I asked them to raise their hand. Well, there was about 36 hours. So 72 people that said, I would like a one-on-one with you to plan for the following year. So I spent 36 hours doing half an hour one-on-ones. Biggest mistake ever. Why? Because these people are not as invested as I am in the business or aren't necessarily as invested. So I spent all of this time trying to coach them, giving them one-on-one attention, which is what I thought they needed. But what they really needed was a system to follow that was proven, right? Instead of case by case coaching people, you give them a proven system that they can plug into. And now they decide what they do with that system, right? Like I run a opportunity call every single week. There are a handful of people that plug into that system and bring people to that call and build their team that way. For the people that don't plug in, they don't get to use that system and they don't have any results. They're not building their teams. They're not growing their teams because they don't plug into a system. I'm not going to call them and say, hey, why aren't you on the call or why don't you show up? That's your business, right? And so what I started to learn is that people had different levels of desire in their business and they would either show up or they wouldn't. And guess what? I show up, number one rule, I show up for the people that show up. I don't show up for just everybody, right? I had to learn that lesson the hard way after 36 hours of one-on-ones that I saw nothing come to fruition, right? Because here's what most people don't understand. When you are working in any industry, there's a split, 80, 15, and 5, okay? I'm always looking to work with the 5%ers. Those are my leaders. Those are the people that are digging in. They're going to do the work no matter what. I'm going to support them. My brand new people, I have to figure out who those people are. I have to figure out how to show up for them, right? And so I absolutely take the time in the beginning to nurture my new people, answer all their questions, see if they do the homework, see if they put in the work, see if they show up for themselves. Because if they're not showing up for themselves, they're not going to show up for me, and I'm not going to show up for them until they're ready to show up for themselves. And by the way, that can change as time change, as their lives change, as people in their lives change. That can change. And so whenever people reach out to me, I am absolutely available and I will help them, but I'm not going to go chase people. I'm never going to go chase people and say, hey, can I help? Hey, can I help? Hey, can I help? Unless I see them very close to a goal that I might be able to help with, right? But it's not my job to chase people down and get them to work because 80% of people are there to do the minimum. They're there to collect a paycheck. They're there to be part of an incredible community. They're there to be part of a culture where people are accepted and they can show up and make friends and travel and do all the fun stuff. But there's another level of work that comes in between that, between basic level of a few hundred, few $1,000s, right? To $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month. There is another level that people have to do on their own. You are never going to motivate people to do the work. You personally are never going to motivate people to do the work. They either show up or they don't, right? I will reach out to people I believe in. I will have the hard conversations with them, but you cannot make them move. Okay? The only person that can motivate them is themselves. All you can do is be a good example, right? So for example, this last Black Friday, I set a goal for myself in my personal company. I hit that goal. I helped other people hit their goals that wanted to hit their goals. Actually, a lot of the people that rank advanced were people that were working with me in the six-figure profit plan. It was really cool to watch, actually, to see the difference between people that were plugged in and accountable and the people that just showed up for the month, right? And so my job isn't to say, hey, are you hitting your goal? Hey, are you going to get there? Hey, how can I help you get there? And reach out to all these people and try and push them. That's not my goal. That's not what I need to do. I need to show up and hit my goal and be a good example and be a leader, right? And put my money where my mouth is and prove out a system that is working. That's the goal, right? You can't save people. All you can do is save yourself and show them how you did it. So when I bring it back to this, you spend some time with your new people. You spend a few months with your new people and get them going, right? The next round of people on the way out of this bullseye is the leaders that are on the same page as me. The leaders that are showing up, the leaders that are putting in the work, the leaders that listen to your advice and take it, because there's a lot of assholes out there. There's a lot of people that come and ask you questions and want help, but they won't apply it, right? They won't take action, or even worse, they'll come back and they'll tell you why they're not going to apply it, right? They'll come and they'll ask for your advice. You'll give them your advice, which you've actually created the result that they want. And then they come back and tell you all the reasons why they can't, all the excuses why they can't, okay? Don't spend time with those people, right? Now, I got to tell you, there are things in life that will happen that will take you off your game, okay? I remember when I lost my dog suddenly, like it was really, really tragic. I had PTSD. I couldn't get out of bed for a month and a half, right? It didn't mean that I wasn't somebody that was motivated. It means a life circumstance happened. In that case, you need to reach out to people and say, hey, are you okay, right? When I had a miscarriage, I needed some time. I needed a couple of weeks to get my emotions back and to feel like myself again, okay? And everybody is going to go through that. One of the reasons I'm so grateful for what I do is the passive income, the residual income that I get every month, is because when stuff like that happens, I'm okay. I still get paid, right? I worked hard enough in the beginning to create a residual income that keeps showing up so that when life goes sideways, I still get paid. That's what I teach people how to do. And so you have to create that for yourself. Now, in those circumstances, it's important to recognize as a leader, I need to show up for that person differently. If they've lost a relative or a family member, if they're going through something tough, you got to call and check on them. But you're not calling to check on them about business and say, how can I help you build your business? You're saying, hey, are you okay? How can I support you? I'm sending you so much love and compassion, right? Until they're ready to move again, until they reach out and say, hey, Christina, I want to dig back in again. I want to plug back in again. How can I help? And guess what? I'm not going to spend an hour with them plugging them back in. I'm like, hey, this is how you launch again. I'm going to tag you in my system and get you started again. I'm going to help you launch again. I'm going to help you get plugged back in again now that you're feeling like yourself. I'm so excited that you're here. How can I support you? What are you struggling with, right? And so that goes on. The leaders that are on the same page, the leaders that are showing up to those, those calls that I'm doing every week, the people that are asking good questions, that are in my inbox, asking how they can build their business, right? How they can move forward in this economy, how they can overcome challenges and problems. That's who I'm in it to win it with, right? Those are the people that I'm in it to win it with. And then everybody else is on the outside. Right? Everybody else is on the outside. Now, it doesn't mean I ignore these people, but I definitely do not chase them, because if you're chasing them, you're dragging a piano uphill. Okay? It's not worth it. Anybody in this outer circle, everybody else who reaches out to me and says, Christina, I need your help, I'm there in an instant. You could ask my team. They may not talk to me for a year. They might not talk to me for 3 months, and something comes up in their business that they need help with and they're in my inbox. You better believe I'm going to help them, right? But I'm not chasing them. This is going to help you so much, because all you're going to do is focus on bringing in new people and working with new people to see the people that want to do the work, right? It's making everybody else feel good about being there, including them in everything that you do, not excluding anybody, right? I'd way rather be excluded for including everybody than included for excluding anybody, right? But when it comes to my time, I focus on the people that are going to do the work. I'm focusing on the people that are going to show up. Why? Because they're the ones I can help get results, right? The people that raise their hand and say, Christina, I want more accountability. I want to work with you. I want to learn how you do business, how you've made 6 figures, how you've made multiple 6 figures. I want to learn how to do that. They often plug into my 6-figure profit plan, and they're able to grasp the rhythm that I work and where I focus my time and intention so I don't burn out. Because people are often shocked that I work about 4 hours a day intentionally. I'm constantly communicating and building relationships and doing fun things to meet new people, right? Living the lifestyle that I want to live, showing people that it's possible. But I'm not giving up who I am and sacrificing everything else in my life to make business work. And so how does that work at Christmas time, right? When you show up, you pick and choose who you spend time with, right? Your inner circle, the people that you come first. So if there are people that are detrimental in your family, that are difficult and don't bring joy to you, don't spend time with them. I was watching a TikTok video the other day, and this woman said, how can you have 5 kids and be in an old age home where nobody's taking care of you or nobody's visiting you? And then it split screen to a guy that worked in an old age home. And he said, you know what? He's like, I've worked in an old age home for the last 10 years taking care of people. And I've noticed the people that have nobody come and visit are absolute jerks, right? And they can't fathom why nobody would visit them. They have zero self-accountability. They treat people like crap, and then nobody shows up for them. But the people that are highly visited, the people that have family come in every week, they were so much value to the people that they loved. They gave so much service to the people around them. They bonded with their kids. They spent time with their family. They made it important. And that's why this is so important, right? You and your family becomes above and beyond everything else. And that's why I don't make time for everybody else on the outside of the circle, because what I need, my business, that comes first. And I'm not selfish in saying that, because I have a service heart and I'm there for people that want it, right? But I can't waste time with people that don't. So you ever go to a Christmas dinner or a Thanksgiving dinner or a family gathering, and there's people that are just nittering and nattering and bitching about everything in the world? I avoid them. I go find other people to start conversations with. Maybe I introduce myself to a new family member. Maybe somebody's brought their partner for Christmas for the first time. I'm going to spend time getting to know them. See if I want to spend more time with them, right? Just like you would do with your brand new people in business, brand new people on your team, right? Maybe they're the older people, like your leadership, your grandparents. Maybe you've got a favorite aunt and uncle you want to spend time with. Make time to FaceTime them if you don't get to see them in person, right? Set up a FaceTime date or a Zoom, right? If you get to see them in person, make the extra leap or the extra effort to go see these people and spend time with them, right? When I was home for the summer, I'm so grateful for my husband because he understands the value that I place around family. And he spent the afternoon with my daughter so I could have 4 hours. I think it was almost 5 hours by the time he got there. 5 hours of just one-on-one time with my grandma. And you know how rare that is? Usually there's family around. Usually there's other conversations around. Usually there's people interjecting. Izzy's interjecting, right? I don't get that kind of value and valuable time to me very often. And I was so grateful for those hours that I spent with her. I feel like our relationship grew up tenfold in that 5 hours, right? We got to know each other better. And so when it comes to Christmas, it tends to be an obligation for a lot of people. Do I feel obligated running my team to talk to everybody? How could I possibly talk to 2,000 people every single month and make sure everybody is okay? That's not my job. My job is to work with the people that are in my inbox, having the right conversation, asking the right questions, who are self-motivated, or maybe I've inspired them to move over the last couple of months. Maybe they've been inspired by somebody else to move and they want to understand how. And I don't mean move countries. I don't mean any of that. I mean move and take action in business. Same thing goes with family. If you're going to spend time over the holidays with your family, make sure you have boundaries. Make sure you spend time with the people that you love. Make sure you don't put yourself in a position where you're going to burn out because you're sacrificing because you feel obligated. There is no obligation. You come first. And I think that this is such an important conversation to have. So the name of the game and the end game is show up for the people who show up for you. Be very cautious with where you spend your energy. Energy is contagious, right? If you sit at a high vibration and you are around other high vibration people, it keeps your energy here or maybe even raises your energy. If you don't, and you are around people that are complaining and negative and bitching about everybody else or the state of the world and blah, 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 without a solution, you need to stop because they're just bringing you down. They're just lowering your energy. Same thing goes for your team. You know, we all know the people that are constantly complaining or giving excuses as to why they are where they are with their business or why things are not working. Something happens with their kid, or I didn't have enough time, or this, or oh my gosh, well, I had to do this or whatever. I've heard every single sob story out there, and not to say that they're not valid. If you are just starting to watch now, go back and watch the rest of the video because I do have compassion for things that happen in your lifetime where you need a timeout. Again, that's why I do this, what I do, because the residual income will take over. But when you are in a situation where there are a whole bunch of people around you, you have to meet people where they are. And you can't chase them. There's not enough time or energy in the world to do it. So keep your heart happy. Keep you focused forward. Be intentional with the people that you surround yourself with because they will either raise or lower your vibration, right? Spend time with people that make you feel good. When you're in a situation where people are constantly complaining, don't spend time there. Don't spend time with people that are asking your advice and don't take it. Don't spend time with people that make you feel bad, right? Or constant drama or BS, right? Have you ever been in a situation where maybe you're like, my husband and I have been together for 14 years. I think we have a pretty great marriage. We really are a team. And have you ever met other couples where you really get along or you're really like, oh my God, I never want to have dinner with them again, right? Or like you have dinner out of obligation because you feel like you have to hang out with them, whether it's for business, whether it's for show, whether you've been friends for years and years and years and years, right? I no longer spend time with people I don't want to spend time with. It's that simple. Because what it does is it lowers the vibration, right? We don't spend time with couples that don't have solid happy relationships, right? If people are always fighting or one's cutting down the other, or I know behind the scenes things are terrible, I'm not going to spend time there because it doesn't benefit my relationship to be around people like that, right? Same thing goes with family, right? If you go and see a certain family member and they make you feel like crap, stop going to see them, right? It's like the people in the old age home wonder, why the heck does nobody come visit me? Because you're a jerk. Because nobody wants to be around you. You're negative, right? But then there are also people that get visitors every single week. And it's because they were of service and of value to others. So be that human. And I promise you, when you learn to guard your energy and you learn to have boundaries and keep people in your inner circle that matter, you'll never burn out. You'll wake up excited and motivated every single day. Hope that's helped.
If you think this video can help a friend, make sure you share it.